Hello, I'm Gene Shalit. Prior to the bone, I got a bone to pick with this movie. This movie should be put in a doggy pound pronto. Gotcha. You think it's somebody else, huh? 'Tis I, the multi-voice reviewer. Many voices, but one opinion. The reason why I'm dressing up as different critics is because this is a tribute to a certain franchise I'm going to review for you today, folks. Man, I hate bow ties. I really do. But anyway, folks, there is a certain anime series that I'm going to review for you today, and this review is going to be it was produced by the same people who gave you The Simpsons. And the movie I'm going to review for you today is none other than The Critic. Hello, I'm a Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, so you don't have to. And one thing I really do have a problem of any movies at all is Batman and Robin. A bat credit card? A bat credit card! Anyway, The Critic here is a really good show. And it kind of sort of inspired me to become a critic. And it was produced by the same people who did The Simpsons. Da 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 da. And it was voiced by this guy, Jon Lovitz, the guy who does the voice of the character Jay Sherman. Great continuity! I am Fayless, the Canadian reviewer who reviews horror films and animated movie ripoffs, and also bootleg merchandise. I don't know why I'm turning into different types of critics all of a sudden. Anyway, Jon Lovitz, who did a lot of work on Saturday Night Live and also did a lot of voices for The Simpsons, he did a really good job of playing this character, Jay Sherman. And the show only lasted for like 2 seasons, from 1994 to 1995. And of course, it has all these characters here. All these characters from the show. I'm gonna take you back to the past to play some crappy game at suck, but I'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in my ear. I'd rather eat a rotten a-hole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. I'm the angry video game nerd. Yeah, I can't give the finger in the show. And one thing I gotta say about this video game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for the NES game, cowabunga, cow a freaking piece of dog crap, this game sucks! The heck's wrong with me? Anyway. Now the characters he has here are the ones who are the main characters throughout the show. I mean, you have Jay Sherman. He has a son named Marty who came from his first divorce. I don't know why she married him in the first place. And he is adopted by these two rich couples. Franklin, who is a really crazy rich guy, and Eleanor, his stepmother, who is also a rich woman and kind of ignores her husband's sanity. But the only person who gave Jay Sherman a lot of respect is his adopted sister, Margot. And of course, his good friend is Jeremy Hawk, the Australian actor, which I bet he is a parody to Paul Hogan. You know, the Crocodile Dundee guy. Look like a tail. And you know, I do have a friend from Australia, which I'm going to tell you about him later. Anyway, and he works with this boss from the studio who goes by the name of Duke Phillips. And of course, have Doris Grossman as his makeup woman. And of course, he has this waiter in a restaurant who goes by the name of Flata. He pays him. That's why he gives him the table. And I'll tell you about these two characters later. But throughout the show, I mean, it's really hilarious and funny. And one thing I had to say that it was downright hilarious is they went out of their way to have real critics who appear on the show, like Gene Shackleton, which I had an odd feeling I made myself look like him. And of course, these two famous critics. Did a really funny show with the real Siskel and Ebert, the real movie critics themselves, who made an appearance in the series, believe it or not. And it was pretty interesting to have them in the show. Hello and welcome to Atop of the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. I'm Linkara, and please avoid Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. This comic sucks. I can't believe I had one. Wait a minute, where? Man, that hat is pretty, though. Although he has a magic gun, where he purchased that. But, of course, they did a lot of, they had the character... Where did these critics come from? Ah, the Muppets, of course. Who doesn't love the Muppets? And believe it or not, on some of the shows, the character, Jay Sherman, did make an appearance in The Simpsons. Like, there was one scene where Jon Lovitz did the voice of Jay Sherman, where he's yelling to the doctor, "It stinks, it stinks, it stinks!" And then they had him appear on another episode of The Simpsons, where he played as Jay Sherman in one of the Simpsons episodes, except they made his skin yellow. I do have this episode on DVD where Jay Sherman plays as a critic on one of the Simpsons episode, while they also reference The Simpsons on the Critic. Oh, hi there, I'm Cinema Snob, and I only review Z-rated horror films and porno parodies. But don't worry, I black box every scene. And one thing that multi-voice reviewer and I have in common, we both love Crystal Pepsi. Even though they taste like Pepsi, but it's so clear, it's delicious. That's good, Crystal Pepsi. The heck's wrong with me? Now I'm dressed all black with glasses? Anyway, as you can see, now here are the two characters I'm going to mention. You see, in the second series, they stop having him becoming a bachelor after his first divorce with his first wife. So he meets these two characters, Alice Thompson and her little daughter Penny, which the chemistry between the two is pretty interesting. And of course, when they did another Simpson reference, Jay Sherman's mother decided to have a costume ball and invited him and Jay dressed up as Homer Simpson, while Alice dressed up as Marge. Well, they decided to make a third season in the year 2000, where they introduced this girl who goes by the name of Jennifer. And, well, that is pretty much the end of the Critic. When will the Critic ever return? Well, who knows? And bear in mind, all of these critics and reviewers are impersonated. No critics were harmed in the making of this review. So, if you like this review, please leave a comment down below, hit like, and subscribe. And, man, I need to grow some hair on my head. Well, this here's multi-voice reviewer as Jay Sherman. And this review, it stinks. Well, later, guys.